Neil, congratulations today. 2-0 scoreline doesn't flatter you, does it?
I don't think so. I think first half, to be fair to Bradford, they got some good attacking players, and they play quite open and get at you. And I just thought we were far too open defensively and in midfield. First half, we got them in at half time. I think you could see we worked on dropping Mike in, two wide lads talking a lot more narrow. And I don't think they really caused us many problems second half. If they did, it was mainly because we give the ball away in some key areas. But we got Jake Kirby, who I thought was excellent, coming back from 3 weeks out with an ankle ligament problem, injury that he'd done a filed. We've got Carl Legend coming back, which seems like an eternity since he got suspended. So we got some players coming back, and obviously Mo's only just come into the group. So overall, to get 2 goals instead of 1, it just relieves a little bit of pressure once that second goes in. It was a great finish, but I thought, particularly second half, we worked very hard and we were very organised, and limited them who were a pretty good attacking side to very little.
People keep saying we need a goal scorer. Has he been under our nose all this time? 2 in 3 now for Micah Evans.
Yeah, Mike is, as I say, he scored at Gainsborough. He scored last week, but it was obviously disallowed. He scored 2 for the reserves the week before. And obviously he scored again today, headers as well, which is unusual. But he works well with Kate. He gambles on the bits. He's nearly gone in a few times as well on the day. But yeah, overall, good team performance. I thought there was some good standout performances. Thought Lewis Montrose was very good again. Big K, for whatever people say about our goal scoring record, is value to the team, is there for everyone to see today. 2 centre halves there who are big, strong, physical lads. Know they've been in a game today. One's gone off injured, and the other one, knows he's been in a game, and they're 2 good players and good physical players. So overall, we're still not where we want to be, but sometimes you've got to win ugly, and I think that was one of those games today.
Well, the second goal when it came certainly wasn't ugly, and what a home debut for Mo Cham, scoring a worldie at the Cheadle end. It's a fantastic strike, and love the reaction of Lamin Colley, who leapt over the hoardings from the dugout to celebrate with him.
Yeah, I think we've got a good team ethic here, and we're still building that. I'm still bringing players in and out, and we're still trying to build that team spirit, which is difficult when you make so many changes and try and bring a group of men together in such a short space of time. And then you've got to integrate the lads who've been here along, for the likes of Ian Ormson and Danny and people like that. It's not easy. I think we all know that from our own personal lives, how difficult it is. So when you try and put a group of 20, 22 people together plus staff, it's not as easy as you think. But the camaraderie's good, the work ethic's very good. They want to do well for the football club, and I think you've seen that here today.
We've said several times you've not had the chance yet to play your strongest side. You're starting perhaps to get towards that now, with Carl coming back today, Jake back today, Abs will be back next week. It is starting to improve on that front, isn't it?
Yeah, I said to the lads in the dressing room today, the excuses of why we're not going on runs and winning games are starting to wear thin in the fact that Carl's back, Jake's back, Bags is back now. There's only Glenn Rules, who's got 3 weeks, I think, or 3 games, however long that turns out to be, left. So we can't have excuses, but also continuity is key, and it doesn't. You only have to look at the likes of Fylde, who were top of this league, and teams like that. They've been building teams for 4 years, 3 or 4 years, and we've been building a team for 3 or 4 months. So you can see the amount of changes we're making week in, week out to try and get there. So, but I can't fault the effort of the players, and as long as that keeps going, the quality of the players will come out as we go on.
It's more than 7 hours, I think, now since you last conceded a goal. That's a heck of a record. What do you put that down to? Because that's no fluke.
It's no fluke, and people question why I let young Jordan Thornley go back to Everton, and it was not the fact that he was an outstanding player and outstanding attitude, but it was pointless keeping a young boy here who wasn't going to play regularly, and I think you can see in Paul Connolly and Sean, although I had a little bit of a go at them at half time, but them lads know when they're not doing what they should be doing, and they know how to get around that. They don't go missing, they don't go hiding. They come back stronger and want to prove you wrong. And I think you see them second half. I think you'd say to them second half they had very little because they marshalled the back four superbly. I thought Gareth Roberts was outstanding at left back. Whoever they threw up against him, would it be Connor, would it have been Jason? You know, they got no change out of him either side, you know, either way. So I think it's a strong unit, but it doesn't, you know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see between them three. There's probably about 1,500 league games, is there? You know, so and all, you know, still fit. You know, okay, Gaz is 37, but he's probably one of the fittest at the club, and obviously Sean and Connor were probably 32, 31, so still a fantastic age to be playing football at this level.
Well, Marcus Bignot was here watching just in front of us, actually, in the commentary box, and when you look at their home record, it's going to be tested next week, isn't it? 5 played, 5 won, they've scored 11 and conceded 1, so you can test yourself now next weekend against Solihull, but you'll have given them something to think about.
I think so. You know, I think what they'll see off us is probably different than what they'll see off most clubs in this division. We'll be a little bit similar to what they are and big and strong, you know, and what they have got, to be fair to them, they've got 2 goal scorers. But, you know, as I say, we got Bags back, who's probably our most offensive player. And if we're honest, you know, he's been here for what? Where are we now? Probably 3 or 4 months, has he? He's like a new signing to us, because we've only had him for 1 game. So, you know, to bring him in at this time, it's going to take him a bit of time to get up to speed. And hopefully we'll have a centre forward in this week on loan. So if them 2 things, well, Abs hopefully will come off, as long as he hasn't gone in the referee's room and done anything while I've been in here, because it's the same ref as Wild. We'll have him back next week.
Just finally, I mean, I think the biggest applause that you gave today was to the supporters when the gate was read out at 3,200 odd. Yeah. You were applauding loudly for that. Phenomenal once again, wasn't it?
It's unbelievable, you know, and I know how much the directors here appreciate it, and I know how much I do and the players do. We haven't been here for probably over a month, and we haven't actually been scoring 3s and 4s and 5s, you know, and but the crowd, home and away, has been phenomenal. You know, they stuck behind the team. I know I said to the lads before the game, it's key here that we give them something to shout about, and first half we didn't, you know, and got them in at half time. As I say, reorganised us slightly out of possession. But second half, I thought it was a thoroughly professional performance, and you know, when the lads grinded out, you know, first 10 or 15 minutes grinded out something, and then I thought got a foothold in the game. And when teams come to our place and they do play as expansive as what Bradford do, you're always going to be, you know, always going to struggle with the counter attack, you know, and particularly when they got as much pace as what they have, and they're as open and go basically playing 4 or 5 up front at times. Once we went 2-0 up, so it was key. You know, we stuck to our guns, and it was also good for, you know, for me to be able to put Ryan on at the end. You know, Sean, bit of a back spasm there. We can hardly move in there at the moment. You know, because I do think Kay, you know, does deserve, you know, credit for his performance.
Yeah, fantastic. Listen, well done today. Good
Thank
3
you.
points.
Cheers.